Hello, here with another review. This time another Beatles album, the follow-on to Sergeant Pepper, Magical Mystery Tour. Now this album's quite funny in a sense because it was at the time not really a proper album. It's actually now the only American Beatles album that is part of the band's official catalogue. So here in the UK, originally it was only an EP that consisted of the first half of this album, and in America, the second half of the album in America I should say, was the EP here in the UK, and then all the singles released in '67 was the second half. So it's a proper album. And it's the only American Beatles album that got added to the official catalogue. So I think this album became available in the 70s here in the UK. But when it all got reissued in the 80s, the catalogue remastered it. For the first time in America, the entire official Beatles catalogue was available. And this was the only album that was remastered and is now part of the official catalogue. This is the back, taken from the film. This is, of course, soundtrack to their third film, Magical Mystery Tour. And this includes the colour booklet, which I'll show you, which is actually a lie, because it says 25-page colour booklet. You can tell this remaster's perhaps not the original booklet, because colour is spelt correctly with a U, whereas on the cover it's the original American spelling, which is spelt wrong. Very first picture, I wouldn't call that a coloured picture, but I'm not going to show you the whole book. But basically, you know, it's just got pictures from the film, really, like this one from the video for I Am the Walrus, and you've got these ones of John and George in the film, and you've got this one. I like this picture of Ringo with a thing on his head. But and then you've got the actual inside as well. You've got the actual vinyl. You can get this book back in. Of course, it opens up where you have all the lyrics to the songs, but only the first side, interestingly. And then on here you have the track listing and this picture. But anyway, I'll do the usual track by track. I don't think this review will be that long, really. I'll try not to make it as long. So the opening track, Magical Mystery Tour, it's a Lennon-McCartney song which Paul sings. This song sounds like it was specifically written just for the film, but I actually quite like Magical Mystery Tour. You're going to hear this again, I like most of this album. But yeah, Magical Mystery Tour, I really like that song. And the Liverpool Tourist Board have made a lot of money out of that song, being able to name all their coach tours Magical Mystery Tour. After that, we've got The Fool on the Hill, Lennon-McCartney song, which Paul sings. I like this song as well. Is it? Yeah, it's possibly one of my favourite songs in this album. One of my favourite Paul songs. Yeah, I like The Fool on the Hill. Just a nice little piano ballad. After that, we have Flying, which is one of the very few Beatles songs that's credited Lennon, McCartney, Harrison, Starkey. It's just an instrumental from the scene where you've got the bird's eye in the film, where you've got the aerial shots of Iceland, I think the psychedelic Iceland shots, so it's all colourful and stuff. But yeah, that's Flying. Then you've got Blue Jay Way, which is George's one and only song on this album, the only one he sings lead on, and the only one he's wrote. About the street in Los Angeles, I think it is. Yeah, it is. That's the opening lyric. Fog upon LA. About when he was waiting for a friend. Who was it? Was it Neil Aspinall, maybe? Mal Evans? It was probably one of them, or Derek Taylor, I don't know. It's someone like that. After that, we have Your Mother Should Know, Lennon-McCartney song, which Paul sings. I'm a big fan of Your Mother Should Know. Should, of course, as I've said, that's from the video of it. I really like that part of the film, which is, of course, the closing track of the film, Your Mother Should Know. And then you have I Am the Walrus, Lennon-McCartney song, which John sings. Really like I Am the Walrus, probably my favourite song on this album. It's just so weird, and John wrote it to confuse some kids at his school who were analysing his Beatle lyrics. So he wrote that to confuse them. And people are still reading into it today. And yeah, it's honestly one of my favourite Beatles songs, I Am the Walrus, because it's just so weird and out there. So anyway, then you have side 2, which is all the singles that got released in '67. Hello Goodbye, which was Christmas #1. This album, I didn't mention that. I don't think this album, the EP, did the EP get to #1? I don't know. But this album probably got to #1 in America, but I know here in the UK, when this came out, Pepper was still #1. But Hello Goodbye, yep, John didn't like that song. It's a Lennon-McCartney song, which Paul sings. But I quite like Hello Goodbye. I should also point out, this is the only Beatles album where every track except one technically has a music video for it. Or actually, or does. I guess Baby You're a Rich Man kind of does. I'll get onto that though when I get to that song. But yeah, Hello Goodbye, I like the video for this one as well. They're all in the Pepper uniforms, or outfits. After that we have Strawberry Fields Forever, Lennon McCartney. John sings it, a Beatle classic again. That song was supposed to be on Sgt. Pepper, but it wasn't. Again, it got on this album because it was a single. It's about the Salvation Army children's home where John used to go and play when he was a kid in Liverpool. It's a beautiful song. Then we have Penny Lane, which is again a Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings. Paul's last song on this album. About the street in Liverpool. Again, this song was meant to be on Pepper, but it got left off because it was released as a single. Really like Penny Lane. Good song. Then we have Baby You're a Rich Man, probably the most underrated song on this album. I really, really like this song. John sings this, Lennon McCartney song. I think this kind of has a video. It's from the anthology when they were... all the footage of them when they were looking for a Greek island. It kind of has a video to a degree, but not like the rest of them. They've all got proper videos remastered and all that. But yeah, Baby You're a Rich Man, really like that song. And of course John, when Brian Epstein came into the studio and seen him recording it, John changed the words to Baby You're a Rich Jew Fag. But yeah, I like that song. Then you have the closing track, All You Need Is Love. Probably one of the most iconic songs on this album, one of the most iconic Beatles songs. It's not as I think it was Paul and George said to each other when John showed them it. It's not exactly the most complex of songs, lyrically. It's basically just love, you know, all you need is love and all that stuff. But it is quite a meaningful song and it's still relevant today, really. But yeah, Magical Mystery Tour. This album I give a 10 out of 10 as well. It is a masterpiece. And one of about the only Beatles album I'm pleased this album got put into the proper catalogue. I know the rest of the Beatles albums in America were just butchers of the originals, but this one is genuinely, I'm pleased this got put out because Palaphone and EMI screwed up with the EP, not including the second half. But yeah, Magical Mystery Tour, the last psychedelic Beatles album as well after this. They kind of went back to their roots, more rock and roll stuff. But yeah, so I'll see you next time for the White Album. Bye bye.